In the world of high-performance computing, you're always fighting a battle on two fronts. On one side, you've got this relentless need for speed, rocket launch speed. And on the other, there's the absolute non-negotiable demand for security, like building an impenetrable castle for your data. The thing is, whether you're editing 8K video or running huge databases, you can't afford to compromise on either one. So the big question is, how do you get both? And this really gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? You go out and you chase that unbelievable NVMe performance, pushing your storage to the absolute limit. But with every leap forward in speed, there's that little voice in the back of your head asking, is my data actually safe? Is all this performance built on solid rock, or is it just a house of cards waiting for a breeze to knock it all down? Well, that is exactly where this comes in. The Areca ARC 1886 series was literally engineered to end that compromise. It's built from the ground up to give you that blistering NVMe speed and the ironclad, bulletproof data protection that professionals absolutely have to have. So, what's the magic here? How does it actually do it? Well, it all starts with the hardware. Let's kind of peel back the cover for a second and take a look at the engine that's driving all this incredible performance. Okay, so what you're seeing here is basically a dedicated super high-speed pipeline just for your data. Right at the heart of it, you've got this powerful dual-core processor that's like the air traffic controller for every single storage task. It connects to your computer through this massive, super-wide PCIe Gen 4 highway. And what this means is it's not just fast, it's also unbelievably flexible. It can handle everything from your older SAS and SATA drives all the way up to 6 of the latest, fastest M2 NVMe drives, all on one card. And that dual-core processor we were just talking about? Well, that's the secret sauce. It's what we call a RAID-on chip, or a ROC. Now, think about this. Typical software RAID actually steals processing power from your computer's main CPU. It slows down the very applications you're trying to speed up. But the ROC is different. It's a dedicated brain that handles all those complicated RAID calculations all by itself. It completely offloads that work, freeing up your computer's CPU to do what it's supposed to do. Run your actual software at full tilt.
And here's the payoff in the real world. All that dedicated hardware means performance you can actually feel. You get this incredibly high throughput. Think of it like a giant fire hose for moving huge video files without any stutter. You get massive IOPs, that's input/output operations per second, which is absolutely crucial for things like databases that need to find tiny pieces of data in the blink of an eye. And it all happens with super low latency. For anyone out there working with 8K video or giant datasets, this isn't just a nice to have, it's a must-have.
But look, insane speed is only half of the story. Let's switch gears and talk about the other side of the coin, how the ARC 1886 builds an absolute fortress around your most important data. Of course, the foundation of all data protection is RAID. You can set up your drives for pure speed with RAID 0, get perfect one-to-one mirroring with RAID 1, or even protect your data from 2 drives failing at the same time with RAID 6. The ARC 1886 handles all of this right there in the hardware, making sure you can survive a physical drive dying on you. So, a drive failing is one thing. We can plan for that. But what about a threat that takes down your entire system all at once, like a sudden power outage? In that split second, any data that's just sitting in the card's super fast cache memory, data that hasn't been written to the drives for good yet, is in serious danger of vanishing forever. And this is where the optional Cache Backup Module, this CBM, becomes your ultimate safety net. It's brilliant. The second the card detects a power loss, an onboard supercapacitor just instantly kicks in. It doesn't power the whole system. It doesn't need to. It provides just enough juice for one single critical job, to flush all of that vulnerable data out of the cache and save it securely onto the card's own permanent flash memory. And this quote right from the manual really says it all. The CBM gives you that vital additional level of protection. When the power finally comes back on, the card just automatically writes that saved data right to your drives. It's that simple. No data loss, no corruption, just total peace of mind. All right, so we've got extreme speed and we've got ironclad security. But really, what good is all that power if it's a total nightmare to set up and manage? So let's talk about the third pillar here, simplicity. Now this is just pure genius. The ARC 1886 actually has 2 modes. In legacy mode, it works just like a traditional RAID card. You install the Areca drivers and you're good to go. But then there's NVMe mode, and this is where the card does something amazing. It basically pretends to be a standard NVMe device. This means it uses the native, built-in drivers that are already in your operating system. What's the result? No drivers to install. At all. It just works. And because of that brilliant NVMe mode, the compatibility is just incredible. It works seamlessly across Windows, Linux, macOS, even in really complex virtual environments like VMware. This means you can take the card from one machine to another, even with totally different operating systems, with pretty much zero friction. And managing all your RAID arrays is just as flexible. If you want that old-school direct control, you can just jump into the MBOS utility when your computer boots up. Or if you want a more modern approach, you can manage the whole thing through a super clean, really intuitive web browser interface. You get to choose the workflow that works best for you. So when you put it all together, it's really clear. The Areca ARC 1886 series delivers on three huge promises. First, extreme speed, thanks to its dedicated hardware and that PCI Gen 4 architecture. Second, ironclad security, with powerful hardware RAID plus that critical cache backbone module for power loss. And third, effortless simplicity, all because of its revolutionary driverless NVMe mode. Which really brings us to the final question, the one you should be asking yourself. Right now, is your storage system holding you back? Is it a bottleneck on your creativity, on your productivity, or is it a launchpad, something that propels your work forward without you ever having to compromise? With the ARC 1886, you get the launchpad.